Hey guys, welcome back. Jennifer Jeske, Doctor of Physical Therapy with Optimal Physical Therapy. I've told you a little bit about my background as an athlete and some of how I got into physical therapy. But one of the things that I've really grown to know and understand and study is the effects of our nutrition on your recovery as an athlete, but also say as a physical therapy patient. So people come to me with aches and pains. Things like fibromyalgia, where they have just muscle aches all over the place, back pain. And so a lot of times what we need to do is discuss what are you putting into your mouth or what are you feeding yourself that might also be contributing to why you're not healing, but also why you might have an injury in the first place. So if our muscles and our tissues are dehydrated, for example, we're not getting enough water in our body, not only does our brain fog up, but our muscles and tissues might ache and cramp because they just don't have enough water going through them to be able to flush out the toxins that are one that we put into our bodies through the food that we eat, but also through just the acidic environment or the toxic environment that can build up from just muscle building. So our muscles break down and build back up, and so it's an energy process. So one huge thing is water intake there. So if we're not putting enough water into our system, we're not flushing out those toxins like lactic acid that build up and cause this achiness in our muscles. That over time can cause us to have some muscle strains just from them not functioning well. Another component of what I really want to get at is inflammation today is just the types of food that we eat. So for example, we know that there are certain foods that cause more inflammation in our body. So for example, sugar is one of the biggest known foods, or not even just a macronutrient, that can result in this inflammation. What does inflammation in our body really look like? It really looks like really sluggish and achy and just not performing well. Another food component that can cause inflammation in a lot of people is actually dairy, and just certain types of dairy. So and then another one is a lot of people have heard of gluten intolerances or wheat in general, and a lot of that can even have to do with how things are processed. So in general, look at eliminating processed foods from our diet and look at how many things have sugar added to them, and just in general eating less sugary foods. So if we're eating cookies and cakes and donuts, those not only have all that processed wheat, like a really refined white flour, and your teachers also talk to you about like things like replacing flour, like white flour, with things like quinoa, which actually is a more whole food and a better option than choosing things with a processed food. So when I was an athlete and in my younger days, I was extremely sluggish and slow, or I couldn't make it through a full workout, and because all I ate was French fries and Snapple every day for lunch, and no one really ever taught me about what I really needed to fuel my body with. So, and then later in life, I had some digestive issues that, when you're younger, you just blow them off or you can get past it. And then as you get older, they start to really become a problem. So my particular concern was inflammation in my intestines, and I actually ended up in the hospital a couple times, and one of them, eventually I had to see, or I chose to see, a naturopathic physician who really helped me understand through an elimination diet what foods I was sensitive to. So ultimately, I cut out sugar, dairy, and wheat, and I was able to see that I really don't have any digestive issues anymore, and all those things that I used to think I had were all just food related and inflammation related. So essentially what I'm asking you to try here is to, if you have any question about inflammation in your body, feeling sluggish, maybe bloated, just run down, achy, just not performing well, try eliminating your refined sugars, wheat and gluten, and dairy from your diet, and see how you do with that. And then what you can do is you can reintroduce those items after, say, 30 days or so. They say you take about 30 days to eliminate those things from your diet. And then you can reintroduce those things and see which ones really cause you the most problems. Meaning, say you eliminate those things and you really clean up your diet to just meat, vegetables, and some healthy grain options like quinoa and fruits, you may see that you're actually performing better also and recovering from your workouts more easily. So give that a try, and then you can reintroduce those foods, but in moderation. So you'll notice that once you do eliminate some of those foods, that you don't necessarily desire them anymore. So if somebody says, oh, I have a sweet tooth and I have to have my sweets. Well, if you do eliminate them, your body actually stops craving those bad foods and those inflammatory foods, and then you actually will feel better, and feeling better and performing better should be your ultimate goal more than feeding your sweet tooth. I hope that helps understand at least a little bit of what an elimination diet might look like, and what inflammatory foods might do. And if you have any questions, just reach out to me and we can discuss your current diet. We can look at your food logs and see what things might be an option for you. All right. Good talking with you, and I will see you next time.